Okay. Um, a lot of people have asked me to share a little bit. I have shared. I'm in the process of writing a book. It's a couple of people have asked me, how can we know you better? How can we know you better? Like where you came from, what you worked through, what you've done. Because if I say been clinically dead and had cancer 3 times and I'm still here, they don't even, people can't comprehend that. So I'm going to read you a little bit, if I can get this, okay. Let me see. I have too many windows open. Okay, so one of the things through working with myself, getting to know myself spiritually, getting to learn how to live without the drama and the fear and the chaos and the archetype energy and the dominant control, radio submission and all that crap, is that I began to notice patterns. Okay, so one of the patterns that I noticed is that, and I have lived in a lot of places, everybody. I've lived in 22 of our United States. I've never been out of the country, but I meet people that are world travelers and they're like, what country are you from? I'm an American. Okay, so one of the patterns that I always saw was that I always met really cool people in my travels, and I was always taken care of. Everything always worked out. But one thing that used to really bother me was Pleiadians and ghosts, and every house I ever lived in or moved into, well, I can't even say that about this one, had either ghosts and or Pleiadians in it. And it is like, why me? What is this, And in recently working with my team, I realized that I still wanted to be normal socially. I still wanted to create a normal spiritual job. I still wanted to do normal spiritual readings. I still wanted to do what everybody else does. You know what I mean? And my team said, no, look, feel yourself, get to know yourself. What color are you today? What are you feeling? What color I meant by what ray, blue ray, green ray, yellow ray, pink ray, the 7 rays of God. What color was I, involved in that day, and all of these different things that I learned. So it was like, okay, so, exactly who are the Pleiadians? Exactly who are these ghosts? What am I supposed to do for them? What are they going to do for me? Because that was the kind of mentality that I had. So, so kind of like I'm kind of like a little bit different than a lot of people in that I get accused of running rebel energy and whatnot like that. I need to conform. You need to conform, Teresa. I'm like, no, you need to wake up. And I try to be as gentle and whatnot as I can. I came here to Arizona in 1999. I'd been here from 96 to 99, back and forth, trying to be normal, to have a normal job, where I was doing a lot of public speaking for this multi-level marketing company and blah, blah, blah. So at the time that I moved to Arizona, from Seattle, I studied with some elders and some tribal people and whatnot up in the Pacific Northwest and whatnot, and I really enjoyed how studying about the earth and the energies and what exactly were all these things that I was seeing and who were they, and so that really helped me a lot, that, going to the sweat lodge and just getting real with myself and those around me and being slow and simple and calm the fuck down. They used to say, calm down. I'm like, well, I'm just really mellow today. They're like, no, you are going 1,000 miles an hour. And I would have never saw that if I hadn't developed trust in my desire to get better, to get well, to learn something, and to commune and to be around people that I felt like they loved my heart. They loved me for me. And they saw the good, the bad, and the ugly in me, but they still loved me. They don't care about that, They don't focus on that the way I was taught to, like, I have to fit in a certain demographic to hang out with me. No, that was, so off I left Seattle. I grabbed my daughter, my kitty cats, and we zoomed down here. We live here. Kiss mom goodbye. We love you, and all that stuff. We come down here. And then after the Millennium Scare in 2000, things were going pretty good with me. My daughter received a huge scholarship to go to a private school, and she lived on campus, and it was just me, and it would have been like the first time in a long time that it was just me. And it was me on a conscious journey to experiment with life and to have the friends I wanted to have, not because I was with so-and-so and, things like that. And so, things are going along really, really good. I got introduced to the Sky people. I got, things were going along. And there had been so much trauma in my life. I didn't think it could get any worse. I didn't think that life could get any worse or get any better. You know what I mean? And so I had, I'm skipping ahead a little bit because I don't want to talk about this part. So I have to read the book. No. So I learned about the wake-up call that the universe had sent out. All the races that care about us and we care about them, if we just stop and remember, they're not new. They've been here for a long time, and they've been out there. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Supernatural. And so I learned about the wake-up call to the universe, and I was responding to that. And there were things and people around, things and seen and unseen, that helped me, and that's when I started noticing about the archangels. And I'd always had them around me, but I stayed away from them in a social setting or a metaphysical setting or at the lodge. Or I didn't want to talk about angels or ascended masters because I really didn't know anything about them, and what I knew was from religion, and that was like, putting a cheese grater on your head. That was just awful what I knew about that stuff. So through the years here now, I have spent time with Skype and on my radio show and Google Hangouts, and I have this friend, and a lot of you know him. His name is Joy. He's helped me to understand the intention and the responsibility of the archangels and the ascended masters and what color the ray they're on. And sometimes I go, oh, what am I feeling? And I just can't get a hold of it. So I'll call him up and go, what? And he'll scan and he'll go, oh, this is this and that is that. And it's for me, I mean, maybe I'm putting him on a pedestal. I hope not. I love you, Joey. But he has never been wrong. He has never been wrong. And I had asked for that. I'd asked for somebody that would help me and be there for me, even if it's 2 a.m. I don't have to call him and pay $350. Do you see what I mean? I asked for somebody that's supposed to walk this walk with me, and someone also that I could complement their soul. I could help them. I could be the one that's there for them in their way. But he really truly has an uncanny knack for knowing not only the archangels, the angels, the seraphim, the masters, the ascended masters. He knows what they're doing, what their business with your soul is, and how it's working through you. So, I'm bringing this up because as the heart that I have, I cannot stand certain words that restrict or insinuate master or slave type energies. And so he was really good, and my spiritual team was excellent in helping me go past that fear, go past that teaching, that master slave, woman is less than man, da 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 da, that whole archetype, and all that stuff's all in there all together. So okay, so I gained a beautiful friend there in myself and in my friend and in the angels and in, expanding my spiritualness, my beingness, my ability to be. And so one of the things that I was going through that I got this help was, how can I understand and let go and receive and transmute all at the same time? How can you just get like that quick at it? Well, you can't do it. There is not a lot of people teaching it, and you can't do it, number one, unless you want to. Number three, it's part of your soul's contract. And number two, and number three. You have to really want to do this. You've got to want to do this. You've got to want to stop playing games. You've got to want to be the observer. You've got to want to operate 24/7 out of your higher self. And you've got to be ready for society. You've got to be ready for your family. You've got to be ready for how they're going to experience you. And so that last few downloads that I had this year started in December and finished it a couple of months ago. And then I had 2 months of being able to decode what it said. And in doing so, it took a lot of effort because I felt like I was doing it over and over. And so I started writing it down. And then I started sharing it with people just out of curiosity. And it turned into a really big deal for me. It turned into, it turned into something that I can really sink my teeth in. And I feel like when I get done talking to somebody, I've been at my highest and easiest good. I have helped them through a lot of difficulty, and I've helped them to face their self, their shadow self, and everything, all in about 30 minutes. And those are the reports that are coming back to me when I do a decodement session on somebody. So again, how can I understand, let go of, receive, and transmute at the same time? So, think about that for a little bit. And then I'll talk a little bit about symptoms. We all know the symptoms, the sleeping patterns, a change of habit. You will be notified by your team. You are seeing random numbers, like I wake up at 1, 2, 3, or I always get hungry at 1, 2, 3. Why is it 1, 2, 3 again? I must be hungry. You don't hear your stomach growling because you're preoccupied. So, the weight fluctuation, weight gain or weight loss, feelings of panic over their weight issues, or, straight up depression, change in your social habits and whatnot. Okay, I'm getting something, sorry. Okay, so the weight thing, there's a couple of facets to that. Y'all know I do the rocks. There's a couple of facets to that, and we'll just talk about one of them. You will be notified via numbers on that also. A lot of people lately, because of the earth energies is so much, and because of all of the planets, it's not just us and the sun or us and the moon, or us and the volcanoes or the harp or whatever. It's the whole universe feeling this right now. There's a lot of activity in the head area, the head, the pressure, in the temples, the back of the neck, when you feel like you really, really want to do something, or you really want something, or you want to go get something, and you say something like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do that. Or, oh, if I don't do this, maybe it's a life or death situation or something, and you're having that static, like that split second where you're like, wait a minute, I got better training than this. I know better than this. This is what's going on. Don't panic. Don't panic when you experience that. If you're able, breathe in and out 3 times through your nose, out your mouth, and try to do that at least 3 times a day. That'll cut down on some of that. And notice what time it is when that happens. Definitely notice what time that is. Another thing people are experiencing, and they didn't know that they were being told by the numbers on the clock, is the nausea, the dizziness, the vertigo, the bathroom problems. And massive emotion, so much emotion, you just feel like you just don't even know. Like somebody sent me, I just had it happen to me before the show. I was all mellow, I prayed, I did everything. I'm like, okay, T, we're gonna do this. And I got over the little mental blocks that I was still used to using. Like, I don't know, I know it's too hot, and I'll do a show, what am I gonna say, and all that stuff. So somebody sent me a song, and it was Hallelujah by K.D. Lang. And I just did beautiful makeup and everything, and I sat here and I was crying, and I thought, oh no, what am I going to do? But it felt good to just let that go. And I don't have to know why I'm crying anymore mentally. I don't have to grasp at straws. I don't have to go, oh no, somebody must be thinking about me. Maybe they're putting a hex or a curse on me or something. I don't have to go there anymore. And that's all part of letting go of the archetypes. The headaches, the pulsation, the fluttering in the chest, the twitching eyes or any area of the body, but especially the eyes, the vibration in the ears, ringing in the ears, that there is all a sign that you need to slow your roll, you need to breathe, and you need to check in with your spiritual team. That's what that part of that is. The rest of it that I shared is pretty much about the numbers and whatnot. By the way, it's 7:11 o'clock. How many minutes do we have left? Let me see. Oh, cool. All right. We have time. Let's see. Nobody's called in, so that's good. Bear with me. Another thing is make a note of what time it is. If you're getting woke up habitually at the same time, around the same time, maybe one day it's 1, 2, 3, and the next day it's 3, 2, 1, or 2, 3, 1, or 2, 1, 3, or something. It's just those 3 numbers are standing out at you, whatever those numbers are for you personally when you wake up. So just think about, write them down. It sounds really simple, but it really is. It's a little more difficult than you think, because everything will try to convince you or stop you from, you don't need to do this. And the other thing is you might want to do a EMF sweep, electromagnetic frequency or a pulse sweep through your house to see what is going on. Have orgonite for cell to help you with that, or just if you just happen to be like me, you used to like orgonite. I like it. So extreme tiredness, fatigue, a lot of that. I had to wake up and allow myself to fully trust myself that I'm going to be okay. I am drinking enough water. I am paying attention to my codes. I am staying away from drama and fear. I am allowing my I am to speak. Recently I've been told that I was with a certain council, and I'm here to assist Earth and humanity, but I knew it was part of my spiritual team, but I had never heard of it. And when I first heard of it last year through my spiritual team, I was like, I Googled it. Nobody's doing that. I'm not going to do that. I can't do that. I can't deliver a message nobody else is delivering. And they said, can you be honest with yourself? Can you be honest with people? I said, yeah. They said, can you listen to us and write down what we say? And I said, yeah. And they said, then you can do this. And I said, you think so? And so, for 3 months, that's exactly what I've been doing. I wrote and wrote and wrote for a couple of months. And then I got this energy, this came to me to help me integrate the energy of people that I've given readings before, clients that are no longer clients, they're friends now, because we discovered that they are part of my soul group and I'm part of theirs, and they help me and I help them. So it's a good trade. Good trade, as they say on the res. Hey. So I know it's hard. I know it was hard, but I kept at it, and I kept holding the light, and I kept asking for more light. I kept asking for more. Clean up this vessel, clean up this mind, clean up this etheric field, clean out the old memories and the past lives, and bring forward the lessons that I needed to learn in a safe manner, in a timely and relevant way, so that it doesn't interfere with the rest of my life of teaching and being there for people and da 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 da. And so that was what that 18 months was about, this last. So that was what I'm calling my transition period. It was very difficult. I felt lost. I felt disoriented. I felt depressed. I felt pissed off. I felt, different things like that. And it was like, wow. This is where I also learned to deal with some not so nice entities that had been in my etheric field, and they're in everybody's. That if they want you, believe it or not, I don't care what school you go to, you're going to run into them sooner or later, and everybody knows what they are. So if you caught that and you don't know and you're having trouble, then just email me. I remember being so tired of light workers and channeled messages and the heaviness in their messages just because they wanted to make $1. And then I felt bad at the same time because I didn't want to think bad about them or think poorly of them, and I wanted to support them, and I wanted to care about them, and I do care about them. I didn't want to play a role anymore in judging and having an opinion or something to talk about with somebody that was just as negative or depressed or upset as I was about that. And so there's a chapter in my book about that too. So that's a little bit of the stuff that's in my my history and my book. I'd encourage you to, I gotta refresh the studio here to see, because sometimes it doesn't tell me if people call or not. So let's see. Nobody called. Okay. I guess I'm not supposed to have any callers tonight. All right. So ground through the Earth Star Chakra. Allow yourself to remember and experience yourself through your higher self, and then working with the shadow self and the lower aspects of your soul and the old forgotten crazy energies and all that stuff. It won't be so hard. It really won't be so hard then. And it'll help you to get their brain waves working on a higher level. And I did mention before about the critical thinking skills. See what critical thinking skills can do for you. It can benefit you in your inner quest for your own self-truth, for formulating the foundation of who and what you are, for your own personal belief system. And it really did help me. And once I got so much stuff, I gave it away. I just like, okay, team, universe, take this. I'm done. I give up. Like my friend always emails me and says, surrender, Dorothy. I just gave up. And it was like, and at that point, I started asking my body, my mind, my emotions, what are you being told? What's running today? What is this that we're experiencing today as one? And as an observer, you really can see a lot about yourself. You really can do a lot of work on a quantum level. You can help yourself, you know. And so I think that I am going to end the show a little bit early because I feel like I'm repeating myself again. So I haven't had any callers or anything. So I love you guys. I will be back on Breath of Terra really, really soon. You can look for me on my webpage at http://breathofterra.webs.com. And if you feel like donating, that would be great. That would be great help. So take some time, speak to your team, allow yourself to be the observer, get through your shadow self. And if you need any help at all, if you want your numbers decoded, I will do my best and give you my all to help you as much as I can. Okay, everybody, I love you, and thanks for tuning in to Breath of Terra Radio. Have a great time.